Title: Learn to walk away quietly. Before we begin, don't rush this moment. Just breathe, because something has been happening inside you, quietly, silently, without words. You've been feeling distant, not just from people, but from who you used to be. You find yourself staring into space longer than usual. You reply slower. You speak less. You feel more. You've been withdrawing not to isolate, but because your soul is tired in ways you don't know how to explain. People think you're fine because you still laugh, you still show up, you still function. But inside, you're carrying something heavy, something only you know. And no matter how many times you try to tell yourself, I'm okay, your heart whispers back, no, something is changing. And you don't know why. But listen, what you are feeling is not random, is not weakness, is not you breaking down. It is Allah rearranging your life from the inside first. He is removing your attachment to things that were quietly draining you. He is ending chapters you would have never walked away from on your own. He is pulling you away from people you once begged to stay for. Not to hurt you, but to prepare you. Because the version of you that is coming next cannot be born in the places where your soul was suffocating. Stay with me. Don't click off. Don't rush to understand it. Just let your heart hear this. You are not losing yourself. You are returning to yourself. You are not becoming cold. You are being redirected to warmth that actually lasts. You are not being abandoned. You are being protected. Allah is pulling you away so He can pull you closer. So in this hour, we're going to walk slowly, gently, no pressure, no forcing. Just your heart, your breath, and Allah. By the end of this video, you will understand why you were separated, why your heart had to break, why silence became louder than words, why your soul feels like it's in between. And what Allah is preparing for you now, your story is not ending. Your story is being rewritten. So just stay. Stay for you. Stay for your heart. Stay, because Allah is speaking to you in ways the world cannot hear. Your healing begins here. Your heart knows when a chapter is over. You can love a place. You can love a person. You can love a season of your life with all your heart and still feel Allah slowly loosening your grip from it. Not because love has ended, but because your soul has grown and that place can no longer contain the size of your heart. There are times you sit among people who once felt like home and suddenly you feel like a visitor. You listen to conversations that once made you laugh and now the laughter feels distant. The room is the same, the faces are the same, but your heart is not the same. It's a very quiet shift, a shift only the heart can hear. No one else will understand it. No one else will see it. Even you yourself may not have words for it. You just feel it. A gentle pulling, a subtler discomfort. Like your soul is whispering, there is something more for you. Not here, not now, not anymore. And you try to ignore it at first. You tell yourself, maybe I am overthinking. You try to push the feeling away. You try to stay. You try to force yourself to be the same again. But the peace is gone. The heart has spoken. And when the heart speaks, it is not random. It is guided. Because the heart of a believer does not shift without Allah guiding it. Sometimes Allah will close your heart to something you still want. Not to hurt you, but to protect you from being hurt later. It removes your comfort first. He makes your favorite places feel unfamiliar. He makes familiar faces feel distant. He allows silence to settle where laughter once lived. Not to take joy away, but to make space for a new kind of joy you have not met yet. One day you wake up and realize you are tired. Not physically tired, soul tired. Tired of over-explaining yourself. Tired of waiting to be understood. Tired of carrying conversations that used to flow on their own. Tired of giving your heart where it is no longer received. And that tiredness is not weakness. It is awakening. You begin to see what your heart refused to see before. You begin to feel where your spirit no longer belongs. And Allah, in His mercy, begins to show you truth quietly. No arguments, no chaos, no dramatic break. Just truth. Truth that you are not the same person you were before. Truth that your soul has already moved forward, even if your body hasn't caught up. Truth that growth has taken place so silently inside you, even you did not notice. And growth is not loud. Growth is not showy. Growth is gentle, quiet, deeply inward. You outgrew the version of you who kept trying to fix everything, who kept trying to explain your heart to people, committed to misunderstanding it, who kept trying to love in places that did not know how to hold love softly. You have been soft for so long. You have been giving for so long. You have been patient for so long. But now your soul is asking you to rest, to breathe, to step back, to walk away not in anger, but in peace. Because sometimes walking away is not abandonment. Sometimes walking away is returning to yourself. Your heart was not made to break every day. Your spirit was not made to beg for gentleness. Your worth was not meant to be proven like a performance on stage. You were made to be honored. You were made to be protected. You were made to be cherished. Allah did not place softness in you for it to be wasted on those who treat it like weakness. Allah did not give you a giving heart so that others could take advantage of it. Allah did not make your presence gentle so that others could become careless with you. There comes a moment, a quiet moment where your soul says, I can love you from afar. I can pray for you from a distance, but I cannot stay where I am dying slowly inside. And that moment is sacred. That moment is liberation. That moment is Allah saving you. Leaving is not the hard part. The hard part is not blaming yourself for leaving. Because you stayed for so long. You tried for so long. You forgave more times than anyone will ever know. You swallowed words that were heavy to carry. You cried in silence no one ever saw. And Allah saw all of it. Not a tear fell without Him knowing. Not a silent heartbreak passed without Him recording it. Not a single night of confusion was ignored by Him. He was there. He heard every whisper of your heart, even the ones you couldn't voice. And so He began guiding you gently, closing doors softly, shifting your heart slowly, until you reached this moment. The moment you realized it's time to walk away. Not angrily, not loudly, not to prove a point, not to be seen, but to protect the heart Allah gave you. This is not selfishness. This is self-respect. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. This is not giving up. This is Allah lifting you out before the break becomes too deep to heal. Your leaving does not mean you stopped caring. Your leaving means you started caring for yourself too. And caring for yourself is a form of worship, because your heart is an amana, a trust, a gift from Allah. And Allah does not want you to hand your heart to people who do not know how to hold it with mercy. Walking away quietly is not loss. It is returning to the peace Allah always wanted you to have. When Allah guides you to walk away, He does it gently. He does not slam the door. He does not send thunder and storms. It changes your feeling first. He lets your heart become quiet around certain people. He makes conversations shorter. He removes the excitement you used to feel. He allows your soul to detach before your body leaves. Because Allah is the most merciful, and even separation in His hands is tender. You may not notice it at first. You may think you are the same, but your du'as changed you. Your tears changed you. Your loneliness changed you. Your prayers at night changed you. You asked Allah for peace, and He responded by removing anything that disturbed it. And sometimes peace doesn't arrive like light. Sometimes peace begins with absence. The absence of noise, the absence of chaos, the absence of forcing, the absence of holding on to what was already gone in the heart. Peace can feel like emptiness in the beginning. Do not be afraid of that feeling. That emptiness is Allah cleaning space within you. He's preparing room for what is coming. He is preparing your heart for something pure, something steady, something that does not shake you to your core every day. You are not being abandoned. You are being realigned. And realignment always feels unfamiliar at first, because your soul is stepping into a level of peace it has never known before. Take a moment and look at your journey. How many times did your heart almost break completely? How many times did Allah pull you back right before the drop? How many times did you think you couldn't survive something, and yet here you are still standing? You are not weak. You are chosen. You are not empty. You are being prepared. You are not lost. You are being redirected. You are not unloved. You are being loved in a way that is higher, deeper, gentler than the love you were chasing. Allah loves you in ways people never could. Not because they did not care, but because they are human, and human love is limited. Allah's love is limitless. When He takes something away, something beautiful is about to replace it. He never subtracts without preparing to multiply. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it yet. But there will come a day when you look back and say, Abdeen, Ya Allah, you did not take anything from me. You saved me. Saved you from loving someone more than they loved you. Saved you from draining yourself to keep someone close. Saved you from living small to make others comfortable. Saved you from breaking your own heart to protect others from theirs. He saw what you could not see. He saw the conversations behind your back. He saw the insincerity hidden under smiles. He saw the intentions that were never spoken. He saw the wounds that would have crushed you later. And so He stepped in. He did not wait for the pain to destroy you. He intervened when your heart still had softness left to save. That softness is precious. Your gentleness is precious. Your sincerity is precious. Allah does not let those qualities go to waste. So when you walk away quietly, without noise, without revenge, without bitterness, you are not losing. You are winning. You are winning peace. You are winning clarity. You are winning your soul back. The world will not understand. People may say you changed. Yes, you did. And that change was written. That change was necessary. That change was sacred. Growth is not meant to be understood by everyone. It is between you and Allah. You are not made to stay where your heart cannot breathe. You are not made to beg for love that should have been given freely. You are not made to chase people who are running from themselves. You are made for something deeper, something calmer, something purer, something that does not require you to break your own heart to belong. Your walking away is not the ending of love. It is the beginning of healing. This pain you feel now will become the strength you walk with later. The silence you sit with now will become the wisdom you speak with later. This loneliness you feel now will become the intimacy you have with Allah later. Nothing is being taken from you. Everything is being rebuilt inside you, slowly, quietly, beautifully. So breathe, rest your heart. Let Allah hold the parts of you that are tired. You are not falling apart. You are being rearranged. You are returning to the version of you that Allah always intended. The version that feels safe inside your own heart. And when Allah finishes rebuilding you, you will look back at what you walked away from and you will whisper, I didn't lose anything. Allah removed what was blocking my peace. When respect fades, staying breaks you. There comes a moment when you realize that the thing that hurts you the most is not the arguments, not the disagreements, not the misunderstandings. It is the slow disappearance of respect. The little things that once made you feel seen start to disappear. The tone changes, the softness fades. The concern becomes shallow. The warmth becomes distant. It's not always loud. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes the ending begins in silence. You start noticing how your words don't carry weight anymore. How your feelings are brushed aside like they're too much. How your presence is treated like it is expected, not appreciated. And your heart, the one that always forgives, always tries, always understands, starts to feel tired. Not tired of loving, but tired of loving alone. Because real love cannot survive where respect has died. Love may still feel present, but love cannot breathe without respect protecting it. You can say, I love you 1,000 times. You can stay in the same room. You can share the same meals. You can live side by side. But if respect is gone, the soul slowly suffocates. It is like a flower planted in sand. You can water it, speak to it, love it, but without soil, it cannot grow. Respect is the soil of love. When someone sees your silence as weakness, when your patience becomes something they abuse, when your kindness becomes something they use, when your heart becomes something they handle carelessly, that is when your soul begins to whisper, this is not love anymore. This is survival. And survival is not the purpose of your heart. Your heart was created to feel safe, to feel valued, to feel held gently. Do you remember the first time their words hurt you and you said nothing? Do you remember the first time you cried quietly so they wouldn't hear? Do you remember the first time you told yourself, it's okay, maybe I'm overreacting? Your heart remembers, and every time you stayed silent to keep peace, a piece of you broke. Not all at once, but slowly, like paper tearing fiber by fiber. You told yourself, I can handle it. I can fix it. They don't mean it. It's not that bad. Until one day, silence felt heavier than words. And pretending felt more painful than truth. You started losing yourself. You stopped laughing the way you used to. You stopped speaking with the same light. You started thinking before you expressed yourself. Not because you were careful, but because you were afraid your heart would be mishandled again. And Allah does not want fear to be the foundation of your relationships. Allah did not create your heart to be stepped on gently, slowly, repeatedly. Allah did not design you to shrink so others could feel taller. Allah did not place love in your chest so you could fight every day to prove you deserve it. If you have to beg to be seen, that is not love. If you have to explain your worth, that is not love. If your tears are ignored while your silence is convenient, that is not love. When respect fades, staying becomes self-punishment. Your heart knows when it is no longer safe. Not safe, physically safe, emotionally. Safe to speak, safe to feel, safe to just be. Love is supposed to feel like home, not like a battlefield where you stand unarmed every day. And sometimes the most painful part is that you still care. You still love. You still see the good in them. You still remember who they were before things changed. But love cannot survive where your dignity is dying. You can forgive mistakes. You can rebuild trust. You can heal together. But you cannot heal where you are not respected. You cannot water a plant if the soil rejects the roots. So when you feel your heart growing smaller in someone's presence, when your voice goes quiet because you fear being misunderstood, when your tenderness feels like a burden instead of a blessing, that is Allah whispering, my beloved servant, you deserve gentleness and I will lead you to it. Leaving is not about hate. It is about self-preservation. The preservation of the softness Allah placed inside you. Your softness is not weakness. Your heart is not too much. Your emotions are not burdens. They are signs of your ability to love deeply. They are signs of your soul's purity. They are the most beautiful parts of you. And Allah does not want to see you lose them. So when respect fades and your heart starts folding into itself to survive, walking away is sometimes the only way to stay alive inside. Not to punish them, not to prove a point, not to be dramatic, but to save your soul. You can forgive and still walk away. You can care and still release. You can love and still leave, because leaving is not always abandoning. Sometimes leaving is returning to Allah, returning to the one who holds your heart gently the way no human ever could. You don't need to prove why you're leaving. There comes a time when your heart reaches a quiet understanding. Not everyone will understand your pain, and not everyone is meant to. For so long you tried to explain yourself. You tried to express what you felt. You tried to show the heaviness inside your chest. You tried to make someone see the hurt in your silence. But no matter what you said, it felt like your words were falling into a place with no echo, no response, no real understanding. And that is one of the loneliest experiences in the world. To be present, to be sincere, to be honest, and still feel invisible. Not physically invisible, but emotionally unseen. You tried to hold on. You tried to fix what was breaking. You tried to swallow your pain to keep the peace. You made excuses for their distance, for their tone, for their neglect. You kept telling yourself, maybe they didn't mean it, maybe they're just stressed. Maybe things will get better. But your heart knew. Your heart always knows. There is a certain kind of exhaustion that does not come from doing too much. It comes from caring alone. And when your heart reaches that point, there are no words left to explain. Your silence is not because you have no explanation. Your silence is because you have already explained too many times. Your tears have already spoken. Your tired tone already said the truth. Your quiet behavior already mirrored your feelings, but they didn't see, they didn't hear. Not because your voice was small, but because they were not prepared to hold your heart. And Allah sees that. Allah knows how many times you tried, how many times you forgave, how many times you stood in front of the mirror trying to convince yourself, maybe I'm asking for too much, maybe I'm being dramatic, maybe I should just stay quiet. But your heart was never asking for something unreasonable. You were asking to be understood, to be acknowledged, to be valued, to be handled gently. That is not too much. That is the minimum love deserves. And so Allah placed a quiet strength inside you, the strength to step back, the strength to leave the conversation unfinished, the strength to walk away without proving your pain to anyone, because your truth does not need to be defended. Your sincerity does not need validation. Your heart does not need an audience to justify why it is breaking. You are allowed to leave without explaining yourself. You are allowed to protect your heart without asking for permission. You are allowed to say, this hurts me, and walk away even if no one understands why. You do not owe anyone a speech. You do not owe anyone your pain in words. You do not owe anyone the details of your breaking. Allah knows what happened. Allah saw the moments no one else did. Allah heard the conversations you replayed in your mind for nights. Allah counted every tear that never fell. And when Allah knows, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Leaving silently is not running away. It is choosing peace over chaos. It is choosing dignity over explanation. It is choosing healing over performing strength. Some people will say you changed. Let them. Some people will say you walked away too easily. Let them. Some people will create stories about you to make themselves feel better. Let them. Your silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. Because the heart that leaves without announcing itself is a heart that has learned, I do not need to break myself to make someone see my breaking. And when you walk away with peace, Allah walks with you, not loudly, not publicly, but deeply, tenderly, completely. He replaces the noise inside you with calm. He replaces the confusion with clarity. He replaces the ache with a soft, steady, gentle kind of peace. The kind of peace that whispers, you didn't lose. You protected what Allah gave you. You do not need to prove to anyone why you chose peace over chaos. You do not need to justify why you stopped trying. You do not need to convince anyone that your heart was tired, because the truth is simple. Your heart has been fighting battles that nobody saw. People see actions. Allah sees reasons. People see silence. Allah sees exhaustion. People see distance. Allah sees pain. People see the moment you walked away. Allah sees the 1,000 moments you stayed when you were breaking. And that is why you do not have to defend your departure. You do not have to argue. You do not have to debate. You do not have to explain. The moment you try to explain your pain to someone who is not ready to understand it, your pain becomes heavier, not lighter. Everything you try to express, every moment you tried to be honest, every attempt you made to be transparent was a door you knocked on, and the door didn't open, not because your voice was soft, not because your words were unclear, but because the heart on the other side did not want to listen, and Allah saw that too. So He removed the need for explanation from your soul. He replaced it with quiet acceptance. The acceptance that some closures do not happen in conversation. Some closures happen in the heart, silently. You start to understand, I do not need them to understand me. Allah understands me. And that realization feels like peace after a long storm. Because when you stop trying to be understood by the wrong people, your heart finally starts returning to the one who understood you before you spoke, to the one who knew your pain without your words, to the one who guided your tears before they fell, to the one who never needed explanations to love you right. And in that return, your heart heals. Not all at once, not suddenly, but slowly. Like dawn after a long night, your breath becomes softer, your thoughts become clearer, your chest stops aching every morning, your nights stop feeling like battles you have to survive. The heart begins to trust again, not in people, but in Allah and in yourself. You learn that love should not feel like you are losing yourself. You learn that compassion should not require you to erase your own needs. You learn that connection should not feel like constant tension in your chest. And you learn that silence is not the absence of love. Silence can be the presence of self-respect. There will be moments when you remember the good parts, moments where your heart feels weak, moments where memories knock gently on your mind. Be gentle with yourself. Remembrance does not mean regret. Missing does not mean returning. Love does not mean staying. You can love someone deeply and still choose yourself. You can care sincerely and still walk away. Because love is not proven by how much pain you can endure. Love is proven by how much peace you are willing to protect. One day you will look back and realize, I didn't leave because I stopped loving. I left because I finally started loving myself too. And that is the moment your heart becomes free. Free from explaining, free from performing strength, free from proving your pain, free from defending your truth, free to heal, free to breathe, free to return to Allah with a heart still soft. Because the one who walks away with a clean heart never loses. Allah writes something more beautiful in place of what you left. Not immediately, not suddenly, but in the most perfect timing. A timing that will make you say, every tear was worth it. Every silence had meaning. Every departure had purpose. Allah protected me even when I didn't understand. Distance can be mercy, not punishment. Sometimes Allah distances you before the break becomes so deep that healing would take years. Sometimes Allah separates you before your heart becomes too attached to something that cannot accompany your soul toward Him. Sometimes Allah says no more in a place where you were begging to stay. And it hurts. It hurts in ways words cannot explain. Because your heart remembers the good moments. Your heart remembers the laughter, the softness, the warmth. Your heart remembers the beginning, the sweetness, the sincerity. And so distance feels like loss. It feels like something precious was taken. It feels like punishment. But it is not punishment. It is mercy in a form the heart struggles to recognize at first. Because we often think mercy is only what feels gentle. But sometimes mercy is what protects you even when it hurts. When Allah separates you from someone, He is not just removing a person from your life. He is removing a future that would have broken you in ways you cannot yet see. Allah saw conversations you didn't hear. Allah saw intentions that were never spoken. Allah saw the weight your heart would not have survived. You saw the moment. Allah saw the lifetime. And so He steps in silently, softly, without thunder, without loud warnings. He just allows distance to grow. The calls become shorter. The conversations feel different. The presence becomes lighter. The heart becomes quieter. And you feel it. You feel the shift before anything is said. You feel the chapter ending even while the pages are still turning. Your soul always knows when Allah is leading it away. And in this moment, your heart asks, but why Allah? Why now? Why like this? Why when I finally opened my heart? And the answer is tender. Because you opened your heart and I am protecting what is inside it. Your heart is not something small. It is not something cheap. It is not something replaceable. Your heart is an amana, a trust from Allah. And Allah never wants your heart in a place where it slowly forgets Him. Distance is sometimes Allah's way of saying, you are growing. They are not growing with you. And I love you too much to let you shrink. Not everyone is meant to walk the entire journey with you. Some people were meant for one chapter, not the whole book. Their role in your life was real, meaningful and sincere. But that does not mean it was meant to be forever. There is wisdom in temporary connections. There is beauty in souls that meet for a short time but change each other permanently. And the end of something beautiful does not erase the beauty that once existed. But your heart cannot stay where it can no longer breathe. Your spirit cannot remain where it is no longer nourished. Your soul cannot stay in a place where growth has stopped. So Allah makes distance, not to break you, but to save you. Because if you stayed, you would start losing pieces of yourself. You would start silencing your heart to maintain peace. You would start sacrificing your inner voice to avoid conflict. You would start shrinking. And Allah did not create you to shrink. He created you to rise. Growth is not always loud. Growth is sometimes walking away quietly. Growth is sometimes letting the memory remain pure instead of forcing a new chapter that becomes painful. You can love someone deeply and still release them gently. Not all love is meant to stay. Some love is meant to shape you and then leave space for the next part of your journey. Some people are not lessons of pain. They are lessons of growth, lessons of awakening, lessons of reflection. But Allah knows what the heart cannot yet understand. If they stayed longer, your attachment would grow faster than your wisdom. Your emotions would start leading your path instead of your soul. And love without spiritual guidance becomes a weight instead of wings. So Allah cuts the string before you tie yourself in knots. You can't untangle. And yes, it hurts now. But one day, this distance will feel like mercy. One day, you will look back and say, Allah, if you had not removed me, I would have lost myself. One day, you will look at the healed version of your heart and whisper, Ya Allah, you were protecting me the entire time. One day, you will understand the distance was the cure, not the wound. Sometimes Allah removes a person from your life so quietly, so gradually, that you don't even realize the separation has already begun. Days pass, and suddenly you notice that the heart is no longer reaching the way it used to. You no longer check your phone the same way. You no longer wait for the same message. You no longer rehearse conversations in your mind, and you begin to wonder, did I stop loving or did I simply stop hurting? The truth is, your love didn't disappear. Your love matured. Your heart learned to love without clinging, to care without losing itself, to remember without reopening wounds. This is what distance does when Allah controls it. It does not take love away. It purifies it. Distance teaches your heart how to breathe again. It teaches your mind how to rest. It teaches your soul how to return to Allah as your first place of comfort. Because sometimes you were leaning on someone so heavily that you forgot that your real support was Allah. You made a human being your source of peace. And Allah, in His mercy, reminded you gently, the one who created peace is the only one who can give you peace. So He removed your reliance, not your love, just your reliance. He separated you not to break your heart, but to realign your heart with Him again. And in that separation, you may have felt emptiness, a silence that felt loud, a quiet that felt heavy. You may have thought you were alone, but you were never alone. Allah was there. In the quiet nights when you couldn't sleep, in the tired days when your chest felt heavy, in the moments where no one knew how much you were holding in, He was there, placing warmth where the world grew cold. He was there, steadying your heart when your emotions were trembling. He was there, collecting your tears before they could fall. You see, distance is only painful when we think we are losing something. But when you understand that Allah is the one orchestrating the distance, you realize you are not losing, you are being protected, you are being guided, you are being redirected. And protection is never a punishment. Sometimes Allah takes someone away only so He can replace them with peace. Sometimes Allah closes a door only because what's behind it would have harmed you more than healed you. Sometimes Allah ends a chapter because your story is not meant to end in pain. The heart that once felt abandoned will one day understand it was being carried. The hands you once tried to hold on to so tightly will one day be replaced with hands that hold your heart gently. The space that feels empty now is the space Allah will fill with something purer, more sincere, more steady. You may not see the wisdom today. Your tears may blur it right now. Your sorrow may cloud it at this moment. But there will come a day, and it always comes, when you will look back and say, Ya Allah, you took nothing from me. You simply removed what was not written for me. And on that day, you will finally breathe differently, soft, calm, light, free. You will thank Allah for the distance. You will thank Him for the separation. You will thank Him for the closed door. You will thank Him for the silence, because that silence was not empty. It was healing, and your heart did not break. It opened to become wiser, opened to become deeper, open to love again, but this time without losing itself. Because the heart that Allah protects always rises. Protecting your heart is worship. Your heart is not just an organ that beats in your chest. Your heart is where Allah looks. Your heart is where faith lives. Your heart is where love, mercy, sincerity, humility, and peace are held. This is why the Prophet ﷺ taught us that Allah does not look at your appearance or your wealth, but He looks at your heart. So when your heart is hurting, when your heart is tired, when your heart is overwhelmed, Allah knows, Allah sees, Allah understands. Your heart is not something to play with. It is not something to hand over to people who do not know how to carry it. It is not something to place in the hands of someone who does not fear Allah in the way they treat it. When Allah gives you a soft heart, a gentle heart, a heart that feels deeply, that is not a weakness. It is a gift. Not everyone is given a heart that can love sincerely. Not everyone is given a heart that can forgive easily. Not everyone is given a heart that cries when others are hurting. Not everyone is given a heart that feels Allah inside it. So when your heart starts to break because of how someone treated you, that does not mean your heart is weak. It means your heart is alive. A heart that is alive feels. A heart that is alive hurts. A heart that is alive cares. But when your heart is constantly being stepped on, when your heart is constantly being overlooked, when your heart is constantly being ignored, when your kindness is being taken advantage of, you must protect it. Not because you are cold, not because you are distant, not because you have stopped loving, but because your heart can break beyond repair if you let it. And Allah does not want you to break yourself to keep someone else comfortable. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for your heart is to step away. Step away from conversations that steal your peace. Step away from people who speak to you harshly. Step away from environments where your soul does not feel safe. Step away from spaces where your heart has to shrink to fit. Protecting your heart is not selfish, it is obedience to Allah. Because Allah entrusted your heart to you. He did not give it to others to decide how it should be handled. He put it in your care. Your heart is an amana, a sacred trust. And anything Allah gives as a trust must be protected. If someone speaks to you in a way that wounds your soul, you are allowed to walk away. If someone's presence brings heaviness to your chest, you are allowed to create distance. If someone constantly makes you feel like your feelings are too much, your dreams are too big, your pain is too dramatic, your value is replaceable, your silence is invisible, your love is convenient, you are allowed to leave, even if you love them, even if you care, even if you remember the good, even if your heart aches. Leaving to protect your heart does not mean you are abandoning them. It means you are choosing to not abandon yourself. And Allah loves when you honor yourself with gentleness, because He created you with dignity. He created you with value. He created you with purpose. He created you with beauty inside your heart. Do not hand that beauty to someone who breaks it carelessly. Protecting your heart also means protecting your iman. A heart that is constantly hurting struggles to remember Allah. A heart that is constantly anxious struggles to feel peace in prayer. A heart that is constantly stressed struggles to feel present in sujood. This is why Allah sometimes takes people away from your life. Not because the person is evil, but because the heart He gave you is too precious to be harmed like that again. Sometimes Allah says, you are losing me in trying not to lose them. And that is when He interferes. He places distance. He closes doors. He removes opportunities. He turns the heart away. He makes letting go unavoidable. Not to hurt you, but to return you to Him. Because Allah wants your heart to feel safe again. He wants your heart to feel light when you wake up. He wants your heart to breathe again. He wants your heart to love in peace, not in fear. He wants your heart to kneel to Him, not to anyone else. So protecting your heart is not just emotional self-care. It is worship. It is saying, Sama'alama a'lama akumru rabbiya. Ya Allah, I will not let my heart break in a place where you did not place it to stay. It is saying, Samma alal ma anuna an alal ma ala anuna an. Ya Allah, I choose the peace that comes from you, even if it means walking away. It is saying, Sama alaman tamma alaman tammata andana anaa. Ya Allah, you are enough for me. And when Allah is enough for you, He gives you everything your heart needs. Not all at once, but beautifully, slowly, gently. The way rain falls, the way dawn arrives, the way a wound heals, the way love returns. Not forced, not rushed, not painful, just right. Protecting your heart also means learning to recognize when something is no longer good for your soul, even if it once was. Even if it once brought joy, even if it once felt like everything you ever prayed for. Because hearts change, people change, seasons change, and Allah allows change as a form of guidance. There are times when Allah will show you signs over and over. The heaviness in your chest, the tears that come without reason, the way your body tightens when certain names are mentioned, the way your spirit feels unsettled even when everything looks normal. This is not your heart being dramatic. This is your heart trying to speak to you. It is saying, there is something here that is dimming your light, and Allah does not want your light dimmed. He wants your heart to shine the way He created it. You see, your heart was not created to live in emotional survival mode. Your heart was not created to constantly prove its worth. Your heart was not created to perform and perform and perform just to be seen. Your heart was created to rest, to feel safe, to feel held, to feel valued without needing to be explained. And when Allah takes away someone or something that disturbs this, He is not taking love away. He is taking harm away. Your heart may not understand at first. Your mind may resist. Your emotions may ache. But your soul understands. Your soul recognizes protection even when your eyes only see pain. Because deep inside, your heart already knows, I am not okay here anymore. Staying is hurting me. I am losing myself. And Allah does not allow you to lose yourself in silence. Not if you have been calling on Him. Not if you have been seeking Him. Not if you have been asking Him for peace. Do you remember the nights when you asked Allah for ease, for healing, for peace, for clarity? This moment of separation is part of the answer to those prayers. You asked for peace. Now Allah is removing what steals your peace. You asked for clarity. Now Allah is revealing what you could not see. You asked for strength. Now Allah is teaching you to stand without depending on someone who could not hold you. This is not heartbreak. This is awakening. This is not rejection. This is redirection. This is not loss. This is Allah returning your heart to where it can breathe again. And when your heart returns to Allah before it returns to anyone else, it heals differently. Your heart becomes softer, not harder. Your faith becomes deeper, not shakier. Your love becomes wiser, not colder. Your spirit becomes calmer, not closed. And one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day soon, you will wake up and realize the pain did not break you, it rebuilt you. You will breathe and the air will feel lighter. You will laugh and it will feel real again. You will love again, but this time without abandoning yourself. You will give your heart again, but this time to someone who fears Allah in the way they hold you, someone who speaks to your heart gently, someone who understands your silence, someone who cares for your soul, not just your presence. But before Allah gives you that, He is shaping you. He is teaching you how to guard the heart He gave you. Because a heart that is protected is a heart that can love beautifully, not desperately, not fearfully, not painfully, but freely, with peace, with dignity, with faith. This is why protecting your heart is worship, because you are protecting something Allah loves. You are protecting the place where La ilaha illallah lives. You are protecting the place where remembrance settles. You are protecting the place where sujood begins. You are protecting the place where Allah's love resides. Your heart is sacred, so treat it like something sacred. Do not place it in careless hands again. And Allah will reward you with a love that does not make you lose yourself. A love that brings you closer to Him. A love that feels like calm. A love that feels like home. Not everyone deserves the version of you Allah is creating. There comes a moment in your journey where you begin to notice something subtle. You are not the same person you were before. Your heart doesn't react the same. Your emotions don't respond the same. Your soul doesn't settle in the same places. Your values are shifting. Your priorities are changing. Your silence has become deeper. Your vision has become clearer. This is not random. This is transformation. Allah has been working on you, not loudly, not publicly, not in a way people can point at and say, there, that's when it happened. No, Allah rebuilds the heart in silence, the kind of silence that no one else sees, the kind of silence where you cry into a pillow and wake up stronger, the kind of silence where you break in sujood and rise feeling held, the kind of silence where you speak to Allah about what you could not speak to anyone about. Every heartbreak you endured, every disappointment you carried, every person who hurt you, every moment you felt alone, every tear you thought fell unnoticed, Allah was transforming you through them, not to make you harder, but to make you wiser, not to make you cold, but to make your love more selective, not to make you bitter, but to make your heart capable of loving in ways that are pure, gentle and respectful. Before this transformation, you tolerated things you should have walked away from. You explained yourself to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. You lowered your standards to be accepted. You shrank your light to make others comfortable. But now, something in you has awakened. You no longer chase what runs. You no longer cling to what leaves. You no longer beg for what does not value you. You no longer drown yourself to keep someone else afloat. This is not pride. This is growth. Your heart has learned the difference between love and attachment, between peace and comfort, between being wanted and being valued, between being chosen and being useful. And as Allah elevates you, He will naturally separate you from people who cannot meet you at the level He is taking you to. Not because they are bad, not because you are better than them, but because your journey now requires a different environment than theirs. Your soul is being polished. Your heart is being refined. Your vision is being corrected. Not everyone can walk with you where Allah is leading you. Some people loved the version of you who stayed quiet to keep peace. Some people loved the version of you who never said this hurts. Some people loved the version of you who overgave, overfixed, over-apologized. Some people loved the version of you who emotionally carried them. But that version of you was hurting, and Allah saw that. So He started removing the parts of you that were built out of fear, loneliness, and insecurity. And He began replacing them with strength, dignity, peace, and clarity. You don't laugh the same anymore, and that's okay. You don't entertain certain conversations anymore, and that's okay. You don't hold on to everyone anymore, and that's okay. You don't tolerate disrespect wrapped in love, and that's okay. You have learnt your worth, and now you only want connections that feel clean, that feel gentle, that feel sincere, that feel aligned with Allah's pleasure. Your soul has become too expensive for cheap companionship. Your heart too deep for shallow relationships. Your time too valuable for meaningless attachments. Your peace too important to gamble. Allah is raising you. And when Allah raises someone, He protects them. He protects their heart. He protects their silence. He protects their future. So if you find yourself losing people right now, do not grieve the losses too quickly. You are not losing what was meant for you. You are losing what your new heart can no longer carry. Some people cannot love the healed version of you because they were attached to your brokenness. Some people cannot value the glowing version of you because they benefited from your dimness. Some people cannot honor your strength because they needed your weakness to feel strong themselves. And Allah is saying, my servant, I did not heal you for them. You are evolving. You are becoming something softer, yet stronger. Quieter, yet deeper. Kind, but wise. Loving, but guarded. Present, but selective. You are not cold. You are protected. You are not distant. You are under divine construction. You are not alone. You are being prepared. Prepared for relationships that honor you. Prepared for love that is gentle. Prepared for companionship that brings you closer to Allah, not further. The version of you that Allah is creating, not everyone deserves to meet, because this version of you is a blessing, a gift, a light, a prayer answered. You do not hand that to just anyone. There comes a moment in your journey where you begin to notice something subtle. You are not the same person you were before. Your heart doesn't react the same. Your emotions don't respond the same. Your soul doesn't settle in the same places. Your values are shifting. Your priorities are changing. Your silence has become deeper. Your vision has become clearer. This is not random. This is transformation. Allah has been working on you, not loudly, not publicly, not in a way people can point at and say, there, that's when it happened. No, Allah rebuilds the heart in silence. The kind of silence that no one else sees. The kind of silence where you cry into a pillow and wake up stronger. The kind of silence where you break in sujood and rise feeling held. The kind of silence where you speak to Allah about what you could not speak to anyone about. Every heartbreak you endured, every disappointment you carried, every person who hurt you, every moment you felt alone, every tear you thought fell unnoticed. Allah was transforming you through them, not to make you harder, but to make you wiser. Not to make you cold, but to make your love more selective. Not to make you bitter, but to make your heart capable of loving in ways that are pure, gentle, and respectful. Before this transformation, you tolerated things you should have walked away from. You explained yourself to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. You lowered your standards to be accepted. You shrank your light to make others comfortable. But now, something in you has awakened. You no longer chase what runs. You no longer cling to what leaves. You no longer beg for what does not value you. You no longer drown yourself to keep someone else afloat. This is not pride. This is growth. Your heart has learned the difference between love and attachment, between peace and comfort, between being wanted and being valued, between being chosen and being useful. And as Allah elevates you, He will naturally separate you from people who cannot meet you at the level He is taking you to. Not because they are bad, not because you are better than them, but because your journey now requires a different environment than theirs. Your soul is being polished, your heart is being refined, your vision is being corrected. Not everyone can walk with you where Allah is leading you. Some people loved the version of you who stayed quiet to keep peace. Some people loved the version of you who never said, this hurts. Some people loved the version of you who overgave, overfixed, over-apologized. Some people loved the version of you who emotionally carried them. But that version of you was hurting, and Allah saw that. So He started removing the parts of you that were built out of fear, loneliness, and insecurity. And He began replacing them with strength, dignity, peace, and clarity. You don't laugh the same anymore, and that's okay. You don't entertain certain conversations anymore, and that's okay. You don't hold on to everyone anymore, and that's okay. You don't tolerate disrespect wrapped in love, and that's okay. You have learned your worth, and now you only want connections that feel clean, that feel gentle, that feel sincere, that feel aligned with Allah's pleasure. Your soul has become too expensive for cheap companionship. Your heart too deep for shallow relationships. Your time too valuable for meaningless attachments. Your peace too important to gamble. Allah is raising you, and when Allah raises someone, He protects them. He protects their heart. He protects their silence. He protects their future. So if you find yourself losing people right now, do not grieve the losses too quickly. You are not losing what was meant for you. You are losing what your new heart can no longer carry. Some people cannot love the healed version of you because they were attached to your brokenness. Some people cannot value the glowing version of you because they benefited from your dimness. Some people cannot honor your strength because they needed your weakness to feel strong themselves. And Allah is saying, Inna annama atanna adina bi adina maddina biya adina madila. My servant, I did not heal you for them. You are evolving. You are becoming something softer, yet stronger. Quieta, yet deeper. Kind, but wise. Loving, but guarded. Present, but selective. You are not cold. You are protected. You are not distant. You are under divine construction. You are not alone. You are being prepared. Prepared for relationships that honor you. Prepared for love that is gentle. Prepared for companionship that brings you closer to Allah, not further. The version of you that Allah is creating, not everyone deserves to meet. Because this version of you is a blessing, a gift, a light, a prayer answered. You do not hand that to just anyone. Not everyone is meant to witness the new softness Allah is placing in your heart. Because this softness is not the softness of naivety or weakness or blind trust. This softness is the softness of wisdom, a heart that has seen pain, survived pain, and now chooses peace. And peace is not something you can share with everyone. Some people are attracted to the chaos inside you because it mirrors their own. But when Allah heals you, when your heart becomes calm, when your soul becomes still, those same people will no longer feel close to you. Not because you have changed in a bad way, but because they were only comfortable with you when you were hurting. Some people only knew how to love the you who was always apologizing, always accepting blame, always overgiving, always forgiving too quickly, always carrying both hearts in the relationship. But Allah did not create you to be half of yourself to keep a relationship whole. So He changed you. He made you more rooted, more aware, more awake, more connected to Him. And now the love you give has rules. It has boundaries. It has dignity. It does not bend for disrespect. It does not tolerate emotional carelessness. It does not stay silent in the face of pain. This is the new you, but not everyone can honor this new you. Some people are meant to love only the version of you that was breaking because your brokenness made them feel whole. Your silence made them comfortable. Your shrinking made them feel important. And now that you are healed, now that you have grown, now that you know your worth, they no longer know what to do with you. And that is okay. Because the ones who are meant to stay will rise with you. The ones who are meant for your new chapter will love your strength, not fear it. They will respect your boundaries, not challenge them. They will protect your softness, not take advantage of it. They will lean into your silence, not fill it with noise. They will treat your heart as an amana from Allah, not something to play with. They will say, I want to love you in a way that pleases Allah. And that is the love your new heart deserves. The love Allah is preparing you to receive. Do not think Allah is just removing people. Allah is making space. Space in your life. Space in your heart. Space in your soul. When Allah wants to elevate someone, He thins their circle. He simplifies their world. He cuts attachments that were built on need instead of love. Because the version of you that Allah is creating require pure air, require quiety surrounding, requires stronger faith, requires clearer hearts around you. This new heart cannot survive noise. This new soul cannot handle chaos. This new light cannot exist in darkness. So Allah moves you away from certain people, away from certain environments, away from old versions of yourself, and sometimes away from the person you prayed for. Not because the prayer was wrong, but because the version of you and the version of them are still being written. Allah is still shaping you. Allah is still shaping them. And Allah never rushes the shaping of the hearts He loves. The new version of you will not settle. It will not chase. It will not beg. It will not shrink. The new, you will choose peace over company. Silence over forced closeness. Distance over disrespect. Allah over everything. And when the right hearts arrive, the ones Allah saved you for, you will understand why the wrong ones had to leave. You will look at your healed heart and say, Ya Allah, I finally understand. You were not taking people away. You were taking me towards myself. And that realization will feel like freedom. Not the freedom of being alone, the freedom of being whole. Healing begins when you speak to Allah what you couldn't say to them. There are things your heart holds that your tongue could never say. Words that feel too heavy, feelings that feel too deep, pain that feels too fragile to place in front of someone who may not understand it. You tried to express yourself. You tried to explain how your heart was hurting. You tried to show your sincerity, your effort, your confusion, your sadness. You tried to let someone see the inside of you, but they didn't see. Not because your feelings were complicated, not because your words were unclear, not because you were too emotional. They didn't see because Allah didn't open their heart to understand yours. And that is a form of protection. Your heart was not meant to be understood by every person you care about. Your wounds were not meant to be touched by every hand that reaches. Your vulnerability was not meant to be exposed to someone who could not hold it with gentleness. Min rakati lahi ka'an. So Allah, in His mercy, leaves certain words unspoken. Not because He wants you to bottle everything inside, but because He wants you to bring those words to Him. The things you could not say to them are the things Allah was waiting for you to say to Him. Those tears that you swallowed because you didn't want to seem weak, Allah saw them. Those nights you couldn't sleep because your heart was heavy, Allah was awake with you. Those moments where your voice broke in your chest before it could break in your mouth, Allah heard them without sound. You don't have to explain your pain to Allah. You don't have to find the right words. You don't have to make your sadness look beautiful. You don't have to be strong in front of Him. You can break completely, fully, openly, and Allah will not flinch. Allah will not pull away. Allah will not say, you are too much. Allah never says, calm down, be stronger, stop crying, get over it. No. Allah says, I am near, near to the one whose heart is broken, near to the one who whispers instead of speaks, near to the one who cannot put their pain into sentences, near to the one who stands in prayer with a shaking voice and eyes that won't stop filling. You do not heal by being understood by people. You heal by being held by Allah, because there are wounds that no human being can enter. There are places inside you that no one else can touch. There are moments of pain that are too raw to hand to anyone but the one who created your heart. When you speak to Allah, something happens inside you, something shifts, something opens, something releases. Your body may still be tired, your eyes may still cry, your chest may still be heavy, but your soul your soul begins to breathe again. Because Allah becomes the place you go to feel seen. Allah becomes the place you go to feel understood. Allah becomes the place you go to rest. Not the world, not people, not distractions, not temporary comforts. Allah, your healing does not begin the moment someone apologizes. Your healing does not begin the moment someone understands you. Your healing does not begin the moment someone says they were wrong. Your healing begins the moment you say to Allah, Ya Allah, I don't know what to do, but you know. I don't know how to heal this, but you can. I don't know what is happening inside me, but you see it clearly. And when you speak like that from your heart, not your tongue, Allah responds not always by changing your situation immediately, but by changing you inside the situation. He strengthens your heart quietly. He softens your chest slowly. He calms your mind gently. He places peace where fear used to sit. He places clarity where confusion lived. He places light where darkness once took root. He slowly turns pain into wisdom, loss into maturity, loneliness into closeness with Him. And the pain that once felt like it would drown you becomes the pain that taught you how to swim toward Allah. Your tears become worship. Your silence becomes remembrance. Your loneliness becomes intimacy with Allah. Your sadness becomes a doorway to your Lord. This is why some heartbreaks are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to come back, to return, to remember, to reconnect, to speak to Allah in a way you never did before. Because sometimes the only way Allah can bring you to Him is by closing every other door. And when all the doors close, the door of sujood remains open, always waiting, always welcoming, always listening. And your healing begins there, in the quiet, on the prayer mat, on the floor, with your forehead touching the ground, with your heart spilling out everything you could not say. It is in that moment you are heard, you are held, you are known, you are loved, you are understood, you are healed. Not all at once, not in a single night, but drop by drop, sajda by sajda, tear by tear, dua by dua. You are not walking away alone. There are moments in life where walking away feels like the hardest thing you've ever had to do. Not because you didn't love, not because you didn't try, not because you didn't care, but because your heart finally realized that staying was breaking you. You look at the memories, you look at the laughter, you look at the good moments that once felt like home, and your heart aches. Because letting go is not just releasing a person, it is releasing a version of yourself, a dream, a hope, a chapter you once thought would continue. Your heart whispers, Ya Allah, it hurts. And Allah whispers back, I know. Your tears fall not because you are weak, but because your heart was sincere. There is something deeply sacred about a heart that loved truly. Allah honors such hearts. Allah protects such hearts. Allah restores such hearts. But sometimes Allah asks you to walk away not because the love was false, but because the path was no longer leading you to Him. Sometimes Allah removes you before your heart bends towards something that would pull you away from your purpose. Sometimes Allah calls you back to Him through the doorway of a heartbreak. And in those moments, you may feel alone. People may not understand you. They may call you cold. They may say, you changed. They may tell you, you gave up too soon. They may judge what they cannot feel. But Allah knows the nights you cried. Allah knows the prayers you whispered. Allah knows the heaviness you carried quietly. Allah knows the moments when your chest tightened and your voice broke inside your own silence. So when you walk away, you are not walking away alone. Allah's walking with you. The one who never leaves. The one who understands without words. the one who sees not just your steps, but the weight your heart is carrying with each one. People see you leaving. Allah sees what staying was doing to you. People see the distance. Allah sees the protection. People see the separation. Allah sees the saving. Do not think for a moment that you are abandoned. The path Allah takes you on after heartbreak is not empty, it is sacred. There will be nights you feel lonely. There will be days where memories tug at your chest. There will be moments where your heart whispers, maybe I should have stayed. Maybe I could have tried one more time. Maybe it wasn't that bad. But you did try. You tried more than anyone knows. You tried until your heart had no room left to bend. You tried until Allah gently touched your soul and said, my beloved, I will take it from here. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment Allah rewrites the direction of it. Your new story will not begin with noise. It will not begin with excitement. It will not begin with grand changes. It will begin softly with your heart learning to breathe again, with your soul feeling safe again, with your mind becoming calm again, with your faith becoming deeper again. Your healing will not look dramatic. It will look like waking up one morning and realizing your heart hurts a little less, sitting in silence and feeling peace instead of anxiety, remembering the past without collapsing, smiling without forcing it, breathing without heaviness, feeling whole without needing anyone to complete you. Your healing will look like coming back to Allah. Because when Allah takes something from your hands, He is not emptying your life. He is emptying your hands so He can place something better there, something pure, something peaceful, something that does not make you question your worth, something that does not disturb your heart, something that does not exhaust your soul, someone who will hold your heart the way Allah intended, whether with gentleness, with respect, with sincerity, with patience, with honesty, with fear of Allah. Allah is not denying you love. Allah is preparing you for love that doesn't break you. So when you walk away, walk with faith, walk with dignity, walk with calm, walk knowing that your heart is safe, walk knowing that Allah is guiding each step. You didn't lose anyone. You didn't lose anything. Allah removed what was attached to your past so He could make room for what is meant for your future. You are not walking away alone. You are walking into the part of your life where Allah Himself accompanies your heart. Your heart will not stay in pain forever. The breaking is temporary. The heaviness is temporary. The emptiness is temporary. You may not believe that right now, because when a heart hurts, time feels frozen. Every day feels the same. Every night feels longer than the one before. The world moves, but your heart stands still. But just as the night always turns into morning without you asking, your heart will also heal without you realizing when it started. One day, quietly, without announcement, without effort, your chest will feel lighter. You will feel air enter your lungs differently. Your steps will feel steadier. Your mind will begin to release the endless replaying of memories. Your heart will not ache when you hear their name. You will be able to speak of the past without trembling inside. This is not forgetting. This is healing. Allah heals in ways that are gentle, in ways that are slow, in ways that are unseen. He doesn't force the heart to forget. He teaches the heart how to remember without pain. He doesn't erase the story. He transforms the meaning of it. He turns wounds into wisdom. He turns tears into softness. He turns heartbreak into purification. And this is why you are not walking away alone. Allah is walking you back to yourself. Back to the version of you who feels deeply. Back to the version of you who trusts gently. Back to the version of you who loves beautifully. Back to the version of you who believes again. You will not stay broken. Your heart was not created to remain in pieces. Allah has written for your heart to rise again. But this time, you will not rise as the same person. You will rise softer, not weaker, wiser, not colder, calmer, not numb, more loving, not more closed. Because your heart will now know who to give to, how to give, when to give, and when to walk away. You will not love blindly again. You will love with clarity. You will not sacrifice yourself again. You will love in balance. You will not beg again. You will love from fullness, not need. This is the transformation Allah is guiding you through. You are being shaped into someone who will one day say, I thought that heartbreak was the end of me, but it was actually the beginning of the person Allah always meant me to become. And when Allah brings someone into your life who is written for you, someone whose presence feels like safety, whose character brings you closer to Allah, whose intentions are clear, whose heart is clean, whose love is gentle, you will understand why everything before had to end. You will understand why Allah said no. You will understand why Allah closed that door. You will understand why Allah separated you. You will understand why Allah let your heart break. Because what He was preparing was worth the waiting. And when that day comes, you will look back at this moment of walking away and whisper, Ya Allah, you were with me the entire time. Not one step was taken alone. Not one tear fell unnoticed. Not one moment of confusion passed without His care. Not one night of crying was unseen. Allah was closer to you than your own heartbeat. You were never abandoned. You were being carried. And even now, right now, as you read these words, He is holding your heart in His mercy. He is wrapping your soul in His protection. He is soothing your chest with His peace. He is saying to you, my beloved, you are never alone. Before you leave this moment, just sit with your heart for a breath. You made it here. Through the silence, through the heaviness, through the questions nobody ever heard you ask. You are stronger than you think. Not because you never broke, but because you broke and still turned back to Allah. Every tear you cried, every night you held your chest in the dark. Every moment you felt alone but kept going, Allah saw it. And nothing you went through was wasted. Not a single moment, not a single disappointment, not a single heartbreak. It was all shaping you. You did not lose. You did not fail. You did not fall behind. You were being prepared. Prepared for a heart that loves softer. Prepared for a mind that sees clearer. Prepared for a soul that kneels deeper. Prepared for blessings that will feel earned, not given by accident. The new you is not born out of comfort. The new you is born from every quiet moment of pain you survived. So when you leave this video, walk gently. Don't rush your healing. Don't force your heart to feel okay. Don't pressure yourself to move on quickly. Just take one small step at a time. And remember, you are not walking into your future alone. Allah is with you, closer than your own heartbeat, closer than your own thoughts, closer than the tears that never fell. So whisper now, softly, Ya Allah, I don't know what comes next, but I trust you. And let your heart rest in that, because you are safe, you are seen, you are held, you are guided, and your story is not ending here. Your story is just beginning. But this time, with Allah holding your heart, Ameen,